Good morning, everyone. Once again, this is Black Forest coming to you with another market analysis video currency breakdown. This morning, we're going to be looking at the NZDUSD. But before we start the breakdown in this currency pair and this chart, we have to state that this video is for educational purposes only. This is not financial advice. But we all know why you guys are here. You guys are here to find good, credible Forex information that can help improve your ability as a trader and to help put some extra money in your pocket, especially in these very troubling economic times. So that with that being said, let's go ahead and break down what's happening with this Forex pair and what's happening on this chart. Let us talk about what's happening with the NZD, known as the Kiwi, and the USD. First, starting with the Kiwi, known as the NZD. Okay, so the NZD for the about since the beginning of the year has been one of our stronger currencies. Okay, but it started to become much weak. This is now due to there is now an economic shift in its overall economy, in which the economy was performing strong for a long time, and now we're starting to see the woes of inflation and high gas prices start to affect the New Zealand economy, and this is being reflected in the poor news that we've been having coming out about the NZD. Now, the latter of last week, we did have some positive NZ news that came out, which started to push prices up. But for the most part, this trading week, we've had more negative news about the NZD than we've had positive news, which is confirming that is actually on its process of becoming one of our weaker currencies. Okay, so we're going to see a continuation in a drop in strength of the NZD. Okay, now the USD has had a lot of economic news come out this week. It's had more positive news than negative news. Some negative news come out, but it was very much overshadowed by the very positive news that came out about the USD. We did have some very good high impact news come out about the USD during prior to the opening of trading New York yesterday around 8:30 Eastern time with the initial jobless claims. That number came out way better than it was previously and way better than what they're predicted. So we're going to see a strong performing USD in the latter part of this trading week going into next trading week as well. Okay. Also, we did have the oil news come out that showed that there's an increased circulation of oil around the world. Now, typically, oil and the USD do not have a relationship that affects the USD's value, but being that the high gas prices are taken away from money being put into the economy. This started to have a negative effect on the USD, and the USD and the oil started to make what you call a non-traditional economic relationship. Okay, the traditional economic relationship with oil is oil in Canada, but this is a non-traditional economic relationship solely driven by what is happening with the oil from geopolitical events going on around the world. Okay, so with that said, if oil continues to go up, gasoline at the pumps go up, we continue to see a weakening of the US dollar. If oil continues to go down, okay, and gasoline prices at the pumps go down, we will see a strengthening of the US dollar, and this is because less money getting spent at the gasoline pumps means more money going into the stores, more money going into getting spent at the stores and on consumer goods, means more money going into the economy. More money goes into the economy means that the economy grows, and that also means that we have a strengthening of the US dollar. Okay, so now with all that said, we got all that good fundamentals out the way, because here we'll do the work for you. You just got to come watch and listen. Okay. So, with all that said, let us talk about what is physically happening on the chart. Now, let us get to technical analysis. Okay. So, as we said, we've been one of our stronger currencies. We've been actually been going up since January. Okay, up, 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 but what must comes up eventually will come down. Okay, so basically now what you're seeing is the charts going up, but now we're making channel-like moves. Okay, these are more what you call channels, and as these channels start to come in, right, this means that all the larger players that were pushing this chart up are now exiting stage left, and we're about to start to see the sellers coming on into the building. Okay, so this is why we had this push up here. I'm sorry about that. This is why we had this push up here, and then price started to come down drastically. Okay, and it got to the general area where we said it was going to do in previous videos that we made throughout this week. Okay, so now with that being said, let's go ahead and look at what's going to be happening in the short to more intermediate term. Okay, so short to intermediately, we're going to eventually have a push up. How far can that push up go? We can go as far as here, 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 or even here before we range out and continue to go down. Okay, or we can just get up to this area here, range out, and go down as well. But the more likely scenario is that we're going to have a push up, a pathetic push up to either this area here, 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 or here before we range out and continue to go back down, especially being that the fundamentals being dictated by today are not driven by any economic indicators. They're more so being driven by geopolitics. So with that being said, these fundamental events may hold more so than what it would if it was based on economic indicators. Okay, so let's go over this one more time. We could see a push to this general area here or this general area here before we range out and continue to go back towards the downside. So any long position moves that you may see is only going to be temporary and it's only going to be retracement. Okay. Now, is it possible that these long moves that comes in that causes the chart to go back up could be signals of price turnover and we're going back towards the long side? It's possible, but it's not probable, it's not plausible due to the current economic fundamental situation for each respective currency. It's more aligning with it, more going on the short side for the intermediate and long term, with the retracement going towards the long position only being a short term deal. Okay, so we will have a pickup at the area in this general area here, or this general area here before we start to see it ranging out before we continue to go into the short area, with this area being a new target area for the short price before we start to see range and pick up in price again. Okay, hope that information was helpful for you guys. Happy trading.